Now it's time to see who has the heart.
If you put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential, to be the best that you can be, I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the game, in my book, we're going to be winners.
This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
Welcome to the Best of Tailgate Talk, where we go back into the archives and hear some of our special guests you may have missed the first time around. We'll be back with the Best of Tailgate Talk after this. Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. Call 233-4430 or order online at Applebee's.com and pick your meal up with Carside to go. Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 in Athens, just off I-65. Eating good in the neighborhood. Real estate, real easy. That's the motto at Innovative Realty Solutions, and providing the highest quality real estate services is their mission. With sound real estate advice, the latest information, and a skilled analysis of the real estate market, Innovative Realty Solutions offers a better home buying and selling experience with a fair, ethical, and, yes, innovative process. Innovative Realty Solutions. Visit them on Facebook, online at innovativerealtysolutions.com, at 100 North Clinton Street in Athens, or call 230-5950. Innovative Realty Solutions. Real estate, real easy. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand, first to help with community events and fundraisers, first to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations, first to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events, and most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together, that's what we strive for.
Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Takes a snap. He's rolling to his left. He's looking downfield. He's looking in the end zone. Throws a jump ball. It's complete. Touchdown, Golden Eagles.
Join us this coming season for Athens High School football. Greg Young will bring you all the exciting play-by-play online at WKAC1080.com or on your WKAC Sports app. You can also hear it on your Amazon Echo or Google Home device by saying Play WKAC Sports. Listen for the radio replays Saturdays at noon and check out the archives on the WKAC Sports page. Golden Eagle football from 1080 WKAC. The Best of Tailgate Talk is back for another week. We're going back about 5 or 6 years into the archives for our segments today, starting off with former Alabama wide receiver Antonio Carter. A visit with sports author and TV executive producer Marty Appel follows that up. Next will be former Detroit and Los Angeles defensive tackle and member of the original Fearsome Foursome, Roger Brown. We'll move on to former Kansas City and St. Louis pitcher Mark Littell, who is also the author of On the Eighth Day, God Made Baseball. After that, we revisit a segment with Cyndy Feasel, author of After the Cheering Stops, before winding things up with a talk with former UCLA and NBA basketball player Andre McCarter. Stay with us. The Best of Tailgate Talk will be back. P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well as Fayetteville and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
Hey guys, this is Abby with CEI Bookstore. I wanted to personally invite you to our annual Truth Lectureship happening July 11th through 14th at Athens Bible School. This year, the theme is I Believe in Jesus, an apologetic defense of faith in Jesus Christ. Our evening singing and keynote lectures start at 7 p.m. and with day lectures from 8 to 12. Want more information about Truth Lectures? Check out truthlectures.com or stop by CEI Bookstore. We look forward to seeing you the second week of July.
This is Bella LaFontaine with Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We take care of all the basics. We take care of cockroaches, ants, wasps. As far as rodents go, most places they'll trap or poison, and that's the end of it. What we do is we're actually going to find the entry points, and we're going to take care of that for you. We do a lot of work with a lot of realtors here in town to bring houses to the closing table. So one of the big things about us is that we're not a sales company. We are a service provider. So we're not looking to meet a sales quota. We're looking to get a house ready to go to closing and get our customers taken care of. This is Bella LaFontaine, Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We are located at 3413 6th Avenue in Huntsville, Alabama. Phone number is 256-701-7095.
Ardmore Telephone Company has been operating right here in your community since the 1950s. Over the years, we've brought you advanced communication services such as telephone, high-speed internet, and security systems. And going forward, we'll be right here ready to provide you with innovative services and the high level of customer service you've come to expect. At Ardmore Telephone, our proof is the test of time, running decades deep. We're Ardmore Telephone, and we are here to stay. For more details, call 1-800-830-9946 or visit ardmore.net.
This summer, Tailgate Talk and WKAC bring you T-Shirt Tuesday. Every Tuesday, we'll give away a Tailgate Talk T-shirt to some lucky fan. Just go online to tailgatetalk.net and register your name. We'll post the winners on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and it could be you. T-Shirt Tuesday this summer from Tailgate Talk and 1080 WKAC. Welcome back to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the Applebee's Tailgate Talk hotline, former Bama great wide receiver Antonio Carter. Antonio, welcome to the show.
Oh, good morning, guys. Thank you so much. What an honor and opportunity to be a part of you guys this morning.
Well, I tell you, you are talking to the one and only Albie on the bunch, brother, but I remember you playing, and I have mucho respecto for you, my friend. You was a hard football player.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
We 99 to 2001, those were some pretty good years for Bama, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, yes, sir, it was. What a great opportunity I had to be a part of this university. I mean, to come from the state of Florida, where it was great football. You got the big three down there with Florida State. I'm from Tallahassee, and you got the Gators and Miami. But, I got out the back door. In 1998, I came to a game to visit when we hosted the Florida Gators, and the atmosphere, the support, the fans, the passion that I felt in that stadium that day, I said, this is where I want to be.
That's good.
Was that when Sean playing there when you was at that game?
Yes, sir. That was 98. That was, it was a close one. I know Bama ended up losing. Florida won at the end, I think.
And then
we threw a late interception, as Al did, but I tell you what a great football game it was. And like I said, it was about the fans. That's what I love. You guys and just the fans, the passion, the support, the love for football, because I love this game and this state loved this game. And that's what drove me to this place. I ain't nothing like Alabama football, man.
I tell you, and I got season tickets. I'm at Bryant Denny every Saturday. That door's open, AC, and I tell you, there's nothing like it being there with 101,000 of your friends yelling and cheering for the Crimson Tide. So when you were there, you were recruited by, if I'm not mistaken, you were recruited by Coach Dubos's staff, and then you finished up with Coach Fran's staff, right?
Well, I'm one of two guys. Myself and Dennis Alexander was there for all four because of my injury. But as far as playing on the field, yes, Coach Fred was the last coach I played for, but I was there. Coach Dubose and recruited me. I had a wonderful, great receiver coach who's now tearing this thing up with Dabo Sweeney. I learned so much from him. He was my receiver coach, and what a tremendous guy, what a tremendous man, a man of integrity, and I learned so much from him, and it was just a joy to be a part of him. And now watching the success that he's having is like unbelievable. I was cut from that cloth. And so, but then I was there with Coach Fran and his staff. I was there with Coach Price with his staff for a little while he was there, and then I was there with Coach Schuler because of my injury. I was granted that 6-year medical hardship. Yeah. So I was there for 6 years. And so, but all four of those guys, that's what gave me the passion to coach. I learned so much from all four of them, great men, and I had 4 different position coaches, 4 different coordinators. The resources and supporting the guys that I was around, all of those guys are having so much success now, and it was awesome to be a part of. And
I think, if I'm not mistaken, you were also you were a grad assistant under Coach Saban for 1 year.
Yes, I was. I did. My first opportunity came from Mike Price at UTEP. I was out there with Coach Price at UTEP for 2 years as a graduate assistant, 05-06. And then what an honor, Coach Saban and his staff had an opportunity to come back and be home and be a part of his staff. And what a great man now. And just watching his success now, that was awesome to be a part of him. I learned so much from Coach Saban. Had the utmost respect for him. I can't thank him enough for the opportunity that I have, and that I still have. He opened the door for me whenever I go down there, him and his staff. And that place, he's got that thing rolling and rocking right now. And it's awesome to be a part of that family.
Antonio, I think something you've alluded to with having multiple coaches throughout your playing career is something we can tap into here just a minute with some of the guys who may be listening. Let's say this, a guy's recruited by a particular coach and he goes to a college, and then there's a transition period. How does he deal with that?
What's that now? I'm sorry.
How does a player deal with the transition when they have initial coach that recruits them, they go in and play for that coach, and then there's a shift, there's a change, got a new coach? How do you deal with that as a player?
Well, it's tough, because, as a young age, and a lot of those young men, they look at those guys as father figures. And, they go there because of that particular coach. And, and that's one of those things that's that line that you kind of, you play with a little bit, because it's tough, and you get attached to that guy. But the number one goal, and I tell all these young men, that it's about the education. It's about the culture of that program. Because coaches gonna come and go. That's the business, And now that I'm at the age I am and what I've been through, I learned a lot of that. But I tell you now, it was tough to watch those guys go and to be there with the guy, you loving him up, and he's telling you this. Next thing you know, you show up the next day, it's a different guy sitting in that chair behind the desk. He's like, what the heck happened? So it's tough, and it's sometimes it's tough to deal with, especially again for young guys that's dealing with that father figure that didn't have that, and they come to that particular program or school because of that coach. And, now you get caught up in that web of, man, I don't want to be here. This coach ain't here no more. But it's all about your guys. It's all about your teammates. It's all about those guys in that locker room. It's all about that university getting a great education, because all of these universities provide great education. They all have great resources for after football. And so that's what you have to look at. Not thinking about, hey, I want to play for this guy. I read, I look, and you think about the guys that's there. I want to be a part of that program. That's what it's all about, not just that particular coach. You want to be a part of that program and that culture.
Yeah. Absolutely. What degree did you get there at
Alabama? I got a human environmental, just your general studies, and I went back and I started on my master's, have not finished, but I had an opportunity again, like you said, with UTEP, with Coach Price and with Coach Saban to start on my master's program, but I have an environmental general studies.
Now, in your career, you held a pretty steady. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like you averaged about 12 yards every time you got your hands on the ball. and did pretty well. Had 3 touchdowns in '99, and then a touchdown each year after that. Pretty good stats there.
Yeah, man, it was. I don't know the particular stat. I was never really a stat guy. I love football. I just wanted to line up and play every day. Awesome. But the most, I had the most, Saturdays was easy to me. And always have been. Even when I was in high school, the best part of football to me was the practice part. Was being around my guys, getting out there and working my tail off to prepare for Saturdays. And that was the most effective one. That was like special than anything, because Saturdays came easy. Because I felt like I practiced and I competed against the best each and every day at practice. And so that's where the work was put in at. So again, on game day, it was fun and it was easy to me. It was just get out there and show off your stuff.
Antonio, you mentioned high school. What about your high school career? Who was your coach? Where were you at?
Well, I'm from Tallahassee Rickers High School. My coach was Ricky Bell, which is a tremendous father figure in my life as well, leader, mentor. Me and the world to me. We talk a lot now, and we have a really, really close relationship. But he was, I'm not saying I'm old school. I'm a young man. I'm only 37. But he was from that old school, get in your face. He didn't care how hot it was. We gonna keep practicing. Ain't no water break. You gonna keep going. You gonna keep going. So again, that's all I knew was go. It wasn't no break. And then again, my senior year, I think we had 31 players on the team. I played on kickoff teams, field goal team, offense, defense. I never left the field. But again, I never thought about it because I love football. Yeah. I had a passion for playing the game, and I didn't want to come off the field. If I was off the field, I felt like something was wrong. I'm asking Coach Bell or Coach Dubos or Coach Serena, what did I do, man? Why I'm not out there? I want to go, And so that's what it's all about. I love football. Football has taught me so much throughout my life, Some of the mistakes I made, the kind of adversity, discipline, hard work, those the kind of things you learn in that. Commitment and just being around guys, being able to earn trust and trusting people to help you. You have to lean on someone sometimes. You can't always do it yourself, and stay prayed up. And so football just taught me so much. And I can't think, I think it's the best game ever. I love it so much, and I know you hear a lot about the concussions and safety and that stuff, but I don't want these young people. I don't want the game to go away because, again, it teaches you those things that you need in life. It's like I said, with the discipline, the hard work, being a man of integrity, having commitment, trusting in your buddy next to you. So those are the kind of things when you get in the work world, when you get a family, when you become a husband, a dad, that you have to have those type of foundational things inside of you to move along in life.
When you're from Tallahassee, and you said you went to the Alabama-Florida State game. Were you Florida State?
He said went to Alabama-Florida.
Alabama-Florida. Were you a Florida State fan growing up?
Yes. Now I tell everybody. I'm gonna quit y'all on but this is one of my secrets. Now I tell them I was a diehard Florida State. And Deion Primetime Sanders was my favorite player. I love me some Deion. So I came on my official visit. I never forget Coach Dubos. I wore number 13 all the way from Little League through high school. I was number 13, and that's what number I wanted when I got to Alabama. And Mike Dubos and Ronnie Cottrell, Coach Dabo Sweeney, it was like, no, man. Charlie Stubbs, he was offensive coordinator at the time. I was like, I wanted number 13. But Kev Bailey, who was a senior, wore number 13. Yeah. And so they was like, you know what, Kev, he's a senior. We want you to wear number 2. I was like, oh, heck yeah, I wear number 2. That's Deion, that's prime time. They was like, no. They was like, no, that's David Palmer, the Deuce. I said, who is David Palmer, the Deuce? And so Coach Dubo said, come here, let me show you something. And I'll never forget, they put that film on David Palmer. I said, heck yeah, I want to wear number 2 like David Palmer. Yeah, I want that one.
That's a great number.
So to watch David Palmer, man, and another guy that I mentored, I looked up to, and I watched him play football. He played the game the way it was meant to be played. It didn't matter what position. guys like myself and like him, it ain't a position. I'm a football player. Put me wherever you need me, coach, and I'm going to get it done. And when I watched that film on David Palmer, that's what I saw. So I said, heck yeah, I want to be that guy. I want to wear number 2.
So now I guess Jalen Hurts is wearing number 2 because Antonio Carter had number 2.
That's exactly right. That number, I tell everybody, that number, I mean, it's still special. And I know Coach Saban knows the tradition and the respect behind that number. And there's been some special guys that's wore number 2. I mean, you had Simeon Castile. I mean, you had Derrick Henry for a minute. You had, even what's his name, Tony Brown Ward, who's a pretty doggone good player. And now Jalen Hurts isn't. And all of those guys were tremendous football players. They wore the number with honor, with pride. They did a heck of a job wearing it. So, yeah, I think Jalen Hurts, they got the right guy wearing number 2 right now. That's a heck of a young man. I have a lot of respect for him. I think he does a great job as far as the leadership and his commitment to the game. And I think he goes out there and give it everything he got each and every day.
Absolutely.
Antonio, when do you plan on going on your motivational speaking tour?
Man, I don't know.
Come on.
I don't know.
We'll start you right here in Athens.
I just, again, man, I love helping young people. I love football. And, I mean, I keep a great attitude. That's what it starts with life. I mean, it starts with your attitude. You have to have a great attitude. You have to be positive and stay positive. I mean, it's always, even the negative, there's some positive in there that can make you a better man, a better person. So, and that's what I live on. I've made some mistakes in life that has made me stronger and helped me to be a better man. So, and now ain't much gonna get me down. Ain't nothing gonna get me down. Every day is a great day. And that's how I live life, and that's how I want all these young men to live life. And each and every chance I get a chance to be around one or talk to one, I try to make sure I let them know that and give them what I call golden nuggets, what my dad did. My dad said, those golden nuggets, son.
Antonio, I'll make a deal with you. If you want to come up to Athens, Alabama, we'll find a place for you to talk to a group of kids and adults and be a little motivation for them.
That's not a problem at all. You guys got my direct number. I'm here. I'm right here in Alabaster. I got a beautiful wife, a beautiful family, man. I'm happy to be a part of this state. I'm happy to be here. And each and every day, any opportunity I can get to help a young person or to help an adult, to help anyone, I'm right there.
Well, now, you will be kind of up in this area, close to us next weekend. You'll be in Birmingham at a couple of places signing some autographs too, right?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna be. I had one today, which is gonna be rescheduled to next week. So I got 2 in one day next weekend. I'm gonna be at Glen Irish Elementary School, I think it is, and I'm also gonna be at the Galleria at Bumper Nets. So just sign the autograph. Loving again, just being around the fans. Being around the passionate and the culture of this state of Alabama fans, man, I'm looking forward to being around, especially those young guys, those young people at that elementary school. My mom, all of my family is educators. My mom's a first grade teacher, 39 years. My brother's a school teacher in Atlanta. My middle brother's a professor at Tallahassee Community College. And I've been in education. And I just think it's the best thing to be a part of young people and touching their lives and helping them best we can.
Well, brother, you finally got the Auburn fan back on here. I want to congratulate you. That's an awesome job that you're doing. And, yes, we want to get you up here someday. You missed your calling if you're not doing some kind of –
Yeah, what are you doing that?
That's Bama Zach's question is, what are you doing this day and time?
Well, I'm in sales. I work for a company called Gulf Distributing. It's out of Mobile, Alabama. We're a beverage company. And, I mean, again, I'm still getting to be around people. I work with large format stores, which is your Walmarts, your Publix.
Yep.
And, man, I go in and I'm a salesman. I get the chance to talk and build relationships and be around good people. And that's what I do. I love anything I do, I love it. I'm passionate about it, so I'm enjoying each and every moment of doing that. And, I'm still coaching. Everybody say, hey, see, are you still coaching? I coach every day. I got kids, and I got my boys who I'm going to get them into sports. I got some young guys. I talked to Andrew Zauer at Calera High School. Any chance I can get around these young guys and talk ball or just talk life to them, that's coaching and making them a better person, because that's what it's all about, being a better person.
That's great. God bless you, brother. We want to have you back on here another day.
Anytime.
Thank you, AC.
Thanks, AC.
What's a wonderful opportunity to be a part of you guys. I really, really thank God and thank for the opportunity you guys even thinking of me to have me on here. And I'm looking forward to being around you guys and meeting you and shaking you and giving you a chest bump when I see you.
Roll Tide, brother.
Roll Tide,
Roll
guys.
Tide.
You guys have a great day.
You too.
Thanks, Antonio.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens, your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State Hometown Team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
If you're looking for an alternative to the insane prices of buying furniture, appliances, and electronics outright, why not consider rent-to-own at Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens? High quality at low prices. Top brands like GE, Maytag, Samsung, and Ashley. No credit approval and flexible payment options. See what you can take home today. Visit Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens at 600 South Jefferson Street in the Athens Shopping Center. Go online to buddyrents.com or call 206-9505. Buddy's Home Furnishings.
Hey guys, this is Abby with CEI Bookstore. I wanted to personally invite you to our annual Truth Lectureship happening July 11th through 14th at Athens Bible School. This year, the theme is I Believe in Jesus, an apologetic defense of faith in Jesus Christ. Our evening singing and keynote lectures start at 7 p.m. and with day lectures from 8 to 12. Want more information about Truth Lectures? Check out truthlectures.com or stop by CEI Bookstore. We look forward to seeing you the second week of July.
Quality Vinyl is on your side. Quality Vinyl in Athens has been in business since 1987, offering great prices and service the whole time. What has changed is the technology of their products. From vinyl siding and shutters, sunrooms and screen rooms, to doors, windows, columns, and rails. Quality Vinyl, located on the corner of Highway 72 and Reed Road in Athens, just 6 miles west of I-65. Call 232-2665 or visit them online at qualityvinyl.net. Quality Vinyl is on your side. School may be out, but you can still enter your nominations for the Applebee's Athlete of the Week over the summer for the upcoming school year. Just go to tailgatetalk.net and fill out the form. While you're there, check out the Tailgate Talk archives and see what you might have missed. That's the Applebee's Neighborhood Athlete of the Week. Enter your nominations today from Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Tailgate Talk, and 1080 WKAC. You're listening to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the Tailgate Talk hotline, we have got American Public Relations and Sports Management Executive, Television Executive, Producer, and Author, Marty Appel. Marty, welcome to Tailgate Talk.
Thank you. Good to be on Tailgate Talk.
My goodness, man. It's we're able to talk to a lot of folks around, but somebody is steeped in Yankee history as you are. That's something we want to hear. You know, anything you want to tell us about it. Yankees have a super tradition because all these Bama fans down here, they compare the Yankees to Bama.
Yeah, so. no, nothing compares to the Tide. But y'all are up there, though, Marty. You're up there. Buddy.
Well, I could begin by mentioning that my good friend of, almost 60 years, Bobby Richardson of Sumter, South Carolina, is celebrating his 82nd birthday today.
Happy birthday, man.
Yes.
When I was a kid and Bobby was the Yankees' second baseman, I was in his fan club. I even won a signed baseball one year in a contest.
That is neat.
And then I went to work for the Yankees in 1968. He was already retired. But we reconnected and we became adult friends and remain so to this day. So for Bobby's 82nd birthday, for the man who has everything, I've decided to send him a solar eclipse, which will be arriving.
There you go. That's awesome. That's gracious
passing over South Carolina.
Very gracious.
You've got some connections to bring that one there. So. I have been in I travel with my job And I have gotten to experience a Yankee sports happening, experience. Because what season was it when the Yankees were playing Oakland A's and the division championship is
late 80s?
No, it wasn't. No, we're talking 2000s, early 2000s.
Okay.
And the Yankees come back and won that game. I was in a restaurant down in Juno Beach, Florida, called the Thirsty Turtle, and the owner is a huge Yankees fan. And that place was packed with Yankees fans. I said it was like a SEC football game with the F-bomb being dropped all the time.
With Yankees,
it's a funny thing. I wrote a book called Pinstripe Empire, which is the whole history of the Yankees. And I make the point in there that had baseball been as global or even as national a sport as it is today, they probably wouldn't have called the team the Yankees because of the meaning of Yankees in the South.
Right.
And they weren't going to sell a lot of merchandise in the South if they were Yankees. So little thought was given to that aspect of the nickname, which really kicked in around 1913.
Tell us about your book, the latest one with Casey Stengel.
The latest one is Casey Stengel, and I'll give you a little Southern connection for Casey. He was known as the old professor when he was managing the Yankees and the Mets in the 60s and the 50s. There's actually an origin that goes into the South for where the old professor came from. But when he was just starting out, when he was, 21, 22 years old, he got a call from a high school classmate who had taken the job as baseball coach at Ole Miss.
Okay.
And he invited Casey to come down during the off season and be an assistant coach. So Casey was delighted and took him up on that. They didn't have a budget to pay an assistant coach, so they gave him a couple of courses to teach, and he became a professor.
Wow.
So the combination of being a professor at Ole Miss led to his being called the old professor later on in life when he was a successful Yankees manager.
That's great. I've never heard that.
I never heard that. Marty, this is Zach. Like I said, we could talk all day about Yankees. I mean, it's amazing how many Yankees fans I know personally down here in Alabama. Yankees, they love them, like you said, like we love Alabama and Auburn football. And but one of the Yankees guys, and I've not ever been a big Yankees fan, but one of my favorite Yankees was Thurman Munson.
Yeah.
And I remember the day he died, I was riding my bicycle around my neighborhood and I had a radio tied to my bicycle and to my handlebars, yes. And that news come on the radio and I just started crying. I mean, I was probably 12, 13, and that just got me. And I see where you've written a book about Thurman Munson. I think I might have to go find that and buy that now. But what can you tell us about Thurman Munson?
Well, we were the same age, and I was the Yankee PR guy, and he was, of course, our great catcher. We started at the same time, and we were friends. In those days, you could actually be friends with the players because they made the same money you did.
Yeah.
In any case, people of a certain age all remember where they were August 2nd, 1979, and where they heard the news that piloting his own private jet, he crashed and died. Wow. And, he was the captain of the defending world champions. This was an enormous, enormous story, and a great loss to America, yes. To American sports, certainly to the Yankees.
Oh, absolutely.
There are still people who will break into tears at Yankee Stadium when his image goes up on the scoreboard. The bond was that close. Now, I wrote his autobiography with him, obviously, when he was still alive in the 70s. And then in 2009, 89, 99, 09, 30th anniversary of his passing, I wrote a full biography of him, which obviously included the crash and the aftermath. And to show how the Yankees really are universally admired and certainly followed, that book became a bestseller. And I'm very proud of that, and very proud to, that I had that connection to Thurman.
It's awesome. Yeah, that is. Marty, this is Todd, and that is an awesome connection to have had. And I was kind of like Zach. I've never been really a huge Yankees fan, but Thurman Munson, obviously, when I was growing up, for whatever reason, I always loved watching him play and admired him as well. One of the questions I've got for you is, knowing the Yankees organization, been part of it as long as you have, do you have a favorite era of it? There's been so many great decades of Yankee baseball, dating all the way back. So, do you have I guess my question is, did you have a particular favorite team out of all those that have been so great?
Well, it's a good question, and it's a personal question. Everybody can answer it differently. For me, it was the 50s. That was when I was growing up, when I came of age, when I first discovered baseball. And I think to this day it was the best decade for baseball because there were still 16 teams, and now you were drawing talent from Black America and White America. So you could argue that you had the maximum talent there tucked into just 16 teams. And, the players from that era, we still had Stan Musial and Ted Williams, and Mickey Mantle was the first great television star of baseball. He came along right when everybody was buying TV sets and following the game. As a Yankee fan, it was great that the Yankees were in the World Series every year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And if I can hear even the Gillette theme song that used to lead into the World Series games, to me it's like hearing the national anthem. It's like an emotional experience. So to me, the answer is the 50s, but of course everybody else can have their own answer.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I think I'm more of a fan of the 50s and back as far as the Yankees go. The Babe Ruth days and the Lou Gehrig's and the of course.
Had I been around then, I think Lou Gehrig would have been my hero, and I certainly would probably answer the question as the Lou Gehrig era.
Well, now of course. Everybody connects pinstripes to the Yankees.
Oh, yeah.
I noticed there's been kind of a stink about the uniforms here. I didn't really see what all the deal was, but I had seen you had made some comments about maybe I don't know if it's a change for a game or a permanent change or what.
No, I wouldn't be in favor of a permanent change. What you're referring to, of course, is next weekend. All Major League teams are going to wear kind of funky uniforms.
Oh, yeah.
With nicknames on the back.
Yeah.
And, of all the teams, this is very un-Yankee-like to do this. The Yankees are so identified with their pinstripes. But people were getting so excited, so I took to Facebook to just sort of say, hey, everybody chill out. This is one weekend. It's fun. This is baseball. This isn't North Korea. And I also pointed out, people were saying, well, I'm a traditionalist, and I think they should wear the pinstripes. And I'm saying, hey, traditionalists, they're playing the Seattle Mariners. That wasn't even one of the original teams. Relax.
That's a great point.
Well, they could still put pinstripes on it. I mean, if it's going to be funky colored anyway, might as well put the pinstripes.
I mean, it's already decided.
Oh, yeah.
There's no pinstripes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, I think I might just take a marker and
just mark them on there.
Marker, lay it down, draw them on.
Yeah.
Okay. This is Tom again. Everybody's got their favorites. My favorite Yankees group of players had to be under Billy Martin, Reggie Jackson.
Yeah, those were great teams.
Bucky freaking Dent. I mean, those were the guys to me I mean, my favorite team of all time was the Big Red Machine of Cincinnati, Pete Rose and those guys. But
they were great.
They were great. But I tell you what, that group of Yankees under Billy Martin and Mr. October, they were good too. What's some good memories you've got from that era?
Well, of course, Thurman was a key guy in that mix.
He was.
They still were not a likable team. They, if you weren't a Yankee fan, it was pretty easy to dislike that band of ball players.
Which I did.
What came along later on in the 90s with Jeter and Mariano Rivera and guys like that, Joe Torre as manager, it was actually hard to dislike that club, even if you weren't a Yankee fan. Those were good guys. And anybody who's a baseball fan who didn't respect the way Jeter and Rivera played the game, kind of missed out on a really good era. But the Bronx Zoo years, when I was the PR director, and it was Chambliss and Nettles at the corners,
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Dent and Willie Randolph up the middle, Thurman catching, Piniella, Rivers, Oscar Gamble was out there, the great Roy White, who played so long, Ron Guidry, Louisiana Lightning, Ed Figueroa, Dick Tidrow. But it's kind of just fun to name all those names, but they were tumultuous years. Everybody was fighting with everybody.
What kind of guy was Goose Gossage?
Try it again.
Can you hear me? What kind of guy was Goose Gossage, Marty?
Gossage was a tough competitor, and boy, when you saw him pitch, and we don't know how hard he threw because they weren't clocking them back then, but he was all arms and legs. He was just very hard to pick up, and so he was enormously successful. He's very proud today to talk about how he'd come in and pitch 3 or 4 innings to close a game.
No one inning.
Closers don't do today. They didn't even use the term closer back then. They were called short men, the guys who tended to finish the ball games and accumulate the saves. Gossage arrived to succeed Sparky Lyle as the closer on the team, except Sparky was still there and was still at the top of his game. So that was pretty controversial, and that's the kind of thing that happened with the Yankees in those days. Even the little transactions they'd make would fuel controversy. So that was tough, and out of that, Sparky did wind up getting traded to Texas, brought the Yankees Dave Righetti, so that turned out to be a pretty good deal.
Yeah, it was.
But in departing, Sparky wrote this book called The Bronx Zoo, which was a funny title, and it was an apt description of the turmoil on the Yankees.
Well, tell us your website and how people can get access to your books.
The books are wherever fine books are sold, as they say. Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, independent bookstores. The website is Appel, PR, A-P-P-E-L, PR.com. And that has a lot about earlier books I've written. I've done 24 books altogether.
Wow.
But these last few on Casey Stengel, Pinstripe Empire, and Munson have been the best received.
When one more question here. I did notice you were named PR director for the Yankees by George Steinbrenner when you were 23, the youngest PR director in Major League Baseball history. I don't guess you ever tried to sleep in your desk like George Costanza did.
I found other places.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Never the desk.
That's awesome.
That's good. Well, Marty, thanks for joining us this morning, man. We've taken enough of your time. It's been an honor talking to you, sir.
Love talking to you guys. Let's do it again.
Hey, we sure will. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Bye. That was legendary Marty Appel.
Man, we could have just, next time, we got to get him back on again. I'd like to just have one segment, talk about George Steinbrenner. What was it like working for the boss?
We didn't get to talk about the boss too much. You've been listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC, the Big Ten 8.
This is Bella LaFontaine with Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We take care of all the basics. We take care of cockroaches, ants, wasps. As far as rodents go, most places they'll trap or poison, and that's the end of it. What we do is we're actually going to find the entry points, and we're going to take care of that for you. We do a lot of work with a lot of realtors here in town to bring houses to the closing table. So one of the big things about us is that we're not a sales company. We are a service provider. So we're not looking to meet a sales quota. We're looking to get a house ready to go to closing and get our customers taken care of. This is Bella LaFontaine, Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We are located at 3413 6th Avenue in Huntsville, Alabama. Phone number is 256-701-7095.
Real estate, real easy. That's the motto at Innovative Realty Solutions, and providing the highest quality real estate services is their mission. With sound real estate advice, the latest information, and a skilled analysis of the real estate market, Innovative Realty Solutions offers a better home buying and selling experience with a fair, ethical, and, yes, innovative process. Innovative Realty Solutions. Visit them on Facebook, online at innovativerealtysolutions.com, at 100 North Clinton Street in Athens, or call 230-5950. Innovative Realty Solutions. Real estate, real easy.
Ardmore Telephone Company has been operating right here in your community since the 1950s. Over the years, we've brought you advanced communication services such as telephone, high-speed internet, and security systems. And going forward, we'll be right here ready to provide you with innovative services and the high level of customer service you've come to expect. At Ardmore Telephone, our proof is the test of time, running decades deep. We're Ardmore Telephone, and we are here to stay. For more details, call 1-800-830-9946 or visit ardmore.net.
P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well as Fayetteville and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right. Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. Call 233-4430 or order online at applebees.com and pick your meal up with Carside to go. Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 in Athens, just off I-65. Eating good in the neighborhood. The reviews are in for Box Drop Mattress in Ardmore, and they're awesome, just like the store. Box Drop in Ardmore has mattresses made in the USA at huge discounts. Plus, they offer flexible payment options and no credit is needed. And they'll deliver right to your door. Box Drop, located at 26561 Main Street in Ardmore. Open Tuesday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30, and Saturday from noon till 4. Appointments also available by calling 321-8888. Box Drop in Ardmore, 321-8888. Keep up with local school, travel, youth, and amateur sports throughout the week with a Play Action Sports Update. Listen weekday mornings at 7:30 and weekday afternoons at 1:30 and 3:30 as we bring you the latest scores, news, and announcements from Limestone County and surrounding communities. That's the Play Action Sports Update 3 times a day, Monday through Friday on 1080 WKAC. You're listening to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
Online now, Mr. Roger Brown. Now, I got to ask you something, Mr. Brown. You played in me and Todd was talking about this, so this is Tom McClung. You played in the college all-star game in Chicago versus the Baltimore Colts. Did they really play a college all-star game against an NFL team?
Well, that was back in the day when the mixture of college great players made up a team to play against the NFL past champion.
Wow.
And that just so happened that we played against the Baltimore Colts. And as you know, I went to school in Maryland, so it was like playing against my old home team.
Wow.
Johnny Unitas was the quarterback. They had Big Daddy Lipscomb, Lenny Moore. They had quite a few players, and we played it in Chicago. But most of the owners of the National Football League didn't like their top draft choices
I'm sure.
playing in that game because of injury. But I played in it, and that was good.
Well, it sounded like a lot of fun. Do you know how many years they continue that after you played in that game?
I think about 4.
Oh, okay.
Not that many.
Okay.
Now, you mentioned playing the Baltimore Colts and Johnny Unitas. Now, he was one of those guys that one of the big names that you sacked for safeties. And as a matter of fact, you tied an individual NFL record for safeties scored in a single season.
Yeah, but I set that record.
Oh, so you tied yourself.
That's
then.
awesome.
Oh,
Yeah, well, I set that record with sacks against Bart Starr and Johnny Unitas in the same season.
That is awesome.
And back then, they didn't keep track of the number of sacks because if you really think about it, in the 1962 Thanksgiving Day game against the Green Bay Packers, I had 7 sacks.
It's the massacre.
That is awesome.
And then they didn't keep track of them. So, I mean, all the sacks I averaged when I got my appraisals from the Lions, I averaged 18 to 19 sacks a game.
Good.
Not a game, but in a year.
Oh, okay.
That's still impressive.
That is awesome. Yeah, I can remember hearing stories through the years about Deacon Jones and some of the other players that you played with and them not keeping that stat back then. So there's no telling what your numbers would have been if they'd actually been keeping up with that.
Coach, talk about your Coach. I'm sorry, I've been talking to Roger. Talk about your induction into the Virginia Sports Hall of Fame and into the National College Football Hall of Fame and looks like here in 2015 you're inducted to the Black College Hall of Fame. Those have got to be great honors.
Well, I am very honored to have been considered. My goal, and before I lay in the dirt, I would love to make the National Football League Hall of Fame.
That would be an awesome.
Yes.
That's my goal.
Is there? Do you know? Like, have you ever been on the ballot, or how does that even process work? Now that you mention that, I don't know how that works. Did somebody have to nominate you, or how does that go?
Well, I have been nominated a few times, and I've been considered, but that and horseshoes will get you close. But I'm praying for the day that I make it.
We'll definitely pray along with you.
Yeah,
on
we'd
that
love
one.
to see that.
well, being a member of two different
Legendary.
fearsome foursome groups there. I mean, one in Detroit and one, I guess, fearsome foursome version 2 in Los Angeles too. With
you think?
I like to consider back in 1960. It's a long time ago. We had Alex Karras, Darius McCord, Sam Williams, and me, and we had the original fearsome foursome.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That name came up from a sports writer with a Pontiac Press named Bruno Kearns. And he called us the fearsome foursome. And Rosie Greer was with New York at the time. Merlin Olsen and Deacon Jones didn't come in the league until 1962. And then they came up. We used to call them the Hollywood Beach Boys.
That's great.
But that didn't work, and I had the honor of going out and playing with them. I like to tell everybody that I took the fearsome foursome name with me to L.A. But they were a good group, and we had a good time playing together.
Those were some seriously talented gentlemen that you were playing alongside. Of course, you being the most talented of the entire bunch, right?
Oh, of course.
You're what made the others better. Yeah.
Well, and we're talking about Hall of Fame. I mean, he was an NFL Pro Bowler for 6 straight seasons, two-time first-team All-Pro. So
those are Hall of Fame numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The funny thing, when I was with the Rams, George Allen was the coach. And I remember going to George Allen, and I had started restaurants in the Chicago area. And I was making more money in my restaurants. I had 5 of them than they were paying me. So I said, Coach, this is a business decision. I've got to retire. I got to leave. And he wasn't happy, and Deacon Jones and Marilyn and all the guys just hated me for leaving. But, It was a business decision.
Well,
and I'm still in the restaurant business.
Well, I was going to ask you, what kind of salary did a player make back in those days?
My first year in 1960, I was drafted number 4. I made $8,000 a year.
Wow.
Out with the Rams, when I told the Coach Allen that, hey, I'm making more money in my restaurants, I was making $30,000 a year. That was my top year. I didn't make any money.
Not like they're making today. The contracts they're signing today seem.
Yeah. Well, I wish I could turn back the clock a little
sure. Well, Mr. Brown, thank you so much for your time coming on you have taken these young fellas right here, and we're just excited to be able to speak with you about your time in the league. And but once again, you're always welcome on Applebee's Tailgate Talk. Best of luck, and we'll be rooting for you for your NFL Hall of Fame.
We will.
Thank you, and it is a pleasure being considered. And anytime you call, I'm ready to talk.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much.
Oh, that was great. Todd, that was great. Roger Brown, let's get him in the NFL Hall of Fame. That's just all we need to say.
Are the other guys not?
I'm
the
pretty
other
sure.
3 of the
Alex,
4?
Yeah. Merlin Olsen.
Not sure about, Alex
Deacon
Karras
Jones.
Yeah,
Alex
I would think.
Yeah.
You would think.
Yep. Whew. Yeah, we need to get the 4th one in. That's just.
Yeah, we got to get the 4th one in. We got to get Roger in there.
Yeah. I was just wondering what you had to do to get somebody.
Well, he said
nominated.
He said he'd been nominated before and considered, but I don't know what that means to get actually on the ballot, or maybe he was on the. I don't know. We'll have to look into that.
Let's toss it off. You've been listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC, the Big 1080.
Ardmore Telephone Company has been operating right here in your community since the 1950s. Over the years, we've brought you advanced communication services such as telephone, high-speed internet, and security systems. And going forward, we'll be right here ready to provide you with innovative services and the high level of customer service you've come to expect. At Ardmore Telephone, our proof is the test of time, running decades deep. We're Ardmore Telephone, and we are here to stay. For more details, call 1-800-830-9946 or visit ardmore.net.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand, first to help with community events and fundraisers, first to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations, first to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events, and most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together, that's what we strive for.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens, your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State Hometown Team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
The Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship has been set up to honor the legacy of Bama Zach Green, a huge fan of the Crimson Tide, along with Limestone County sports. The scholarship will go each year to a male and female athlete from Limestone County. Checks should be made out to Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship and can be sent in care of Garth Garris, 13833 Pinnacle Drive, Athens, Alabama, 35613. Donations can also be made in person at First State Bank of the South at 1319 Highway 72 East in Athens. Thank you for showing your support for local athletes by giving to the Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship. Keep up with Athens and Limestone County sports with a Play Action Sports Report. Look for it every Wednesday on your favorite podcast platform. The Play Action Sports Report. Scores, interviews, highlights, and more from school, youth, and amateur sports in Athens and Limestone County. The Play Action Sports Report every Wednesday on your favorite podcast platform or online at pasnetwork.net. Welcome back to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
We are joined by former Major League pitcher Marty Littell. He pitched from 1973 to 82 for the Kansas City Royals and the St. Louis Cardinals. He's got a book on the 8th day God created baseball, and he owns a company called Nutty Buddy, and I cannot wait to talk to him about his company. But, Mark, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Well, I'm so happy to be here, and I'm saying hello to all those Southeast Alabama fans down there.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. You got to say Roll Tide. Well, we got some Auburn fans around here, but most of us are Alabama folks. So,
there you go.
There you go. But, hey, Mark, you had a great career. You pitched 9 years in the major leagues. I forgot about it when you were traded, I guess, from the Royals to the Cardinals. You got traded for Al Rabowski, the man Hungarian.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
But, Mark, just tell us a little bit about your career and how that was pitching in the major leagues.
Well, I signed out of high school in 1971. George Brett and I signed the same year.
Wow.
He was a Beach boy. I was a redneck out of Southeast Missouri. And I grew up right outside Memphis. And even though I was in Missouri, we had soybeans and cotton, and I used to chop them and pick them and everything. My brother caught me. He played in Mississippi State. He got drafted twice. So if an umpire got out of line, we'd keep him back in line. He'd let one go once in a while, shake him up just a little bit to widen that zone. And that was the truth too. But it's kind of like in my book. It's on the 8th day God made baseball.
Okay.
Made
by.
Anyway,
I'm sorry about that, Mark.
That's okay. But I just wanted to get that one straight. But anyway, I signed in 1971, and I kind of went up really quick. I was in the big leagues at age 20, and I actually went up ahead of George. George was a second-round pick, and I was a 12th-round pick, and for some reason my brain just decided to click. I'm ADD as all get out, and so I decided to start focusing a little bit. I went through kind of a little bit of a course, and when I was in high school, I used to look. Everybody else used to look at the blackboard, and I'd be counting a turn from the ceiling fan. But baseball to me was the book starts out too at age 6 when I played my first game and I saw my first field, and it's a real interesting story. But I went on to play with Kansas City and St. Louis, and I got a ring in '82. I didn't play much of the year. The guys voted me in a half a share, and I got a ring. But, I did the 76-77 playoffs for Kansas City. Actually, when I came up, I was a starter, and they didn't know what to do. They were just starting to understand closers.
Yeah.
And a starter has about a 110 IQ, and a closer has about a 3 to 5 IQ. So
that's awesome.
It's just kind of give us point us to the mound and give us the ball, and game's over. I throw hard, we win. I drink beer. See you later. Bye. Repeat exercise next day.
Let me ask you this, Mark. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Todd. I was just going to ask you. I saw you had to retire early for bone spurs in your elbow, and that was quite a long time ago. Do you think with the technology the way it is now, that you ever think of that, like if that could have extended your career? Or
well, you know what? Some of the reporters noted, I threw 100 innings, and that doesn't sound like a lot, but I was a closer.
Yeah. Right.
I threw over 100 innings. They didn't really know how to use a closer back then.
Yeah, it was totally different. You're right.
And then somebody said, "Well, you only got 16 saves." I said, "Yeah, but it took 3 innings to get a save."
Yeah, it did.
Back then, you didn't pitch just one inning and get a save.
You can throw 3 pitches now and get a save. So
you throw a ball up there underhand and get a save.
Exactly, you're right. Absolutely right.
Slow pitch.
Hell, you just walk on the mound. I got a save.
Yeah.
But I got in 72 ball games with the Cardinals, and they say you broke an all-time Cardinal record, and I said I could give a crap. My arm's killing me.
I bet, man.
And then I still hold a stupid. One of the funniest things I've got is a statistic. It's not in my book. I have my last chapter is called Forrest Gump Statistics. This statistic is not in there, and it's in a different part of the book. It's under the Cardinal part, but somebody called me up from ESPN, and one of those interns, and I know when I get an intern, they say, "Mr. Littell," and I said, "Yeah, what do you want?" I'm kind of screwing with them. And so he said, you hold the all-time Cardinal record. He said, "Your record might fall." I said, "What record?" And so he said, "Well, you hold." And so he said, "You hold the all-time Cardinal record for most strikeouts by a reliever in any single season." So anyway, he sits there, and I said, "Well, who's going to break that? Who's going to break it?" He says, "Well, Rosenthal." This is about 3 years ago. And I said, well, good for him. I said, records are supposed to be broken. So he missed it by 3, so I'm still there.
Oh, he's still there. Well, there you go.
So he didn't break
it.
But
the funny thing, here's the funny thing is, you look under those big listings like that of Cardinal statistics. You look at Musial and Gibson and Ozzie Smith and all these big guys, and then you see Littell. I thought that was funny. He's all get out.
That's great, though. You know what? You're right there with him, bud.
But So you also, I think you had a little coaching career too. Who all did you coach for, Mark?
San Diego, Milwaukee, Kansas City, the Dodgers.
Wow.
And then 20 years, and then I coached in Australia 4 years. I did some work down in Panama, Dominican. I coached down there. Puerto Rico, I played. Well, so I still have 2 college teams out here.
Well, Mark,
Arizona.
Me and Tim and Todd, we heard about your company called Nutty Buddy. And, of course, when I first thought of Nutty Buddy, I was thinking about the candy bar, of course. He
might not have them.
I was like, so let me look this up. So I found a video. They just showed on ESPN the sports science. And I saw your sports science video where you it was very interesting. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Well, I came up with a cup, and we're up for another award right now, but it's an extremely comfortable cup. That's why I came up with it. And the military uses it. They have used it before. Awesome. And but that's a different grade of material.
I bet it is.
So I want to know this real quick before you go too much further. Yeah. So during the sports science segment, man, that was
where I take the shot.
Yeah, yes. You were trusting that dude pretty well to know that ball was going exactly where it went. A little bit higher, a little bit lower.
I lasered that sucker in.
Okay, all right, there we go.
And then, but I've been on a lot of shows. I've been on Lopez, Fox Sports Science, Fox and Friends Morning Show out there in Times Square.
Cool.
And then, the most stupid thing I ever did. I mean, it's just not a baseball cup. Baseball's about number 4 or 5 on the list, but it's mixed martial arts, hockey, lacrosse, cricket. Anybody that's got a pair uses a Nutty Buddy. So the funny thing is that I was sitting there and Bull Riders were in my cup. I said, well, we're going to cut an infomercial. So I wrote a bull 2.5 years ago, and if you go to that site where it says YouTube Nutty Buddy Bull Ride, and I mean the bull's name was Playboy, and I stayed on there for 2.5 seconds, which I was proud. I'm kind of a big guy because bull riders are real small, But, I had my Nutty Buddy on, and I had 5 cameras out there because I said I didn't want them to miss anything because this was only a one-time shot. That bull threw me off. When it threw me off, I landed like a sack of potatoes, and it cracked my pubic bone. And I got up halfway, and I said all my legs worked because I was keeping my eye on the bull because I didn't want anything coming around on me. And so it cracked my pubic bone. It's unreal. So, crazy stuff.
Well, Mark, your book, let's change subject here. Your book, is it more like a biography, stories, anecdotes?
Nope.
What's the deal?
That's laughable when you say biography. Yeah. I mean, who in the heck wants to read a biography about me?
Well, I mean, I'm just...
It's Mark Twain's voice. It's me talking to you right now. and everybody has said that. I've had people tell me they read that in one swatch. It's 254 pages. But it is fun. It's a fun read. It's all true what has happened. I was wrong when I came into to ball. I played for Gideon High School, 900 people in the town, and that's where. And then I played Legion ball. Of course, we had 50, 60 ball games. I played in Poplar Bluff, Missouri, and then I played in Blytheville, Arkansas. And we had some pretty good ball players. And my brother caught me, so he played Mississippi State. And so, but the book, it takes you right through. I mean, there's a segment in there called, there's a free chapter, a download chapter called Blue Angel. And that's where I knocked an umpire out.
Oh, wow.
And that was in AAA. And we didn't mean knock, well, it didn't matter to me if I knocked him out, but the thing about it is that the catcher was putting down marks in the dirt, saying, hey, yeah, you missed another one, George. And the umpire got razzy with him, so the catcher came out to me and said, hey, you're throwing a good ball game. He was 29 years old, and I was 20. And so he said, hey, give me your best fastball. I said, well, Rose Skidmore's up there. He's 6'5", blonde hair, blue eyes and everything. And he said, well, Rose Skidmore said, and he said, Rose takes first pitch, and I know him anyway. So he bumped into him, and Rose said, hey, Rose, let the first one go. He said, no problem. So he said, hit me right in the mask, and so I did, and we thought it hit the umpire right in the mask, and he'd throw Papke out. Well, it hit him under the mask, and it knocked him out.
Oh, man.
And so, when he got up there, I mean, when he looked, he just took 2 steps back and collapsed, and it's just like a snow angel. And Papke said, look, he's a snow angel. And by the time I got up there, I beat the other 2 umpires up there, and I said, no, he's not. He's a blue angel. So, but there's a lot more to the story because it's a lot. There's real fun reads, and you'll laugh. Or you're guaranteed to laugh. And everybody tells me. A guy told me last night. He said I laughed all the way through the book.
So did you get any suspension time or anything when you knocked out the umpire?
See now?
Did you get any suspension time for hitting the?
No. Heck no, they didn't. The other 2 umpires didn't know what was going on.
That's
awesome. They didn't know what was going on. Matter of fact, Papke came back into the game. I mean, the ambulance hauled that guy out of there, and I had to call him the next morning and apologize. That's a part of the story.
That's awesome.
So you got to read it. It's a free read anyway. But I knocked an old lady out in Cleveland. It's called Mistake by the Lake Drain Against Cold Top. So. I mean, there were 60,000 people in the stand, and about 48,000 wanted to come down the bullpen. So, I mean, I didn't know who I hit. The ball just got away. It was in the old ballpark. And there was no way you could throw it out of the bullpen, but for some reason, I found a way. I mean, it came out of my hand like it was just, slick, like butter on my fingers or something. So, anyway, about 5 seconds later, the whole bullpen was full of crap. We were lucky we had a pillbox to walk back into. It wasn't an open dugout.
That's crazy.
So it was like, playing Alamo.
So if anybody wanted to get your book, Mark, where can they go to?
You can go to Amazon and Amazon Kindle, and I think they're working on something right now. It should be, maybe it's up right now, but for Tuesdays it's going to be down. But you go to Amazon or Amazon Kindle, and it's got all good reviews, and the New York sports writers, they've been real nice to me. and they like to read, and all the other guys, and I just guys like you help me spread the word. But it's a baseball book, but it's about dealing with adversity, more than anything.
Well, absolutely. I'll have to go. I'm gonna have to go order that book now. And also, if anybody wants to know any more information about your other business, trying to protect themselves, what's the name of your website?
Yeah, well, that goes through Battle Sports Science, and then you got my sizes are Hammer, Boss, Hog, Trophy, Mongo, and there are no smalls. So you don't want to get the small and check out to the good-looking chick up there at the front, and she says he's wearing a small, so there is no small. So the sizes are Hammer, Boss, Hog, Trophy, Mongo. We got 5 sizes. So there you go.
Okay. Well, Mark.
Nutty Buddy.
Nutty Buddy. I think it's nuttybuddy.com, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, Mark, we have enjoyed having you on today, and we wish you the best. And like I said, if you want to go out and get his book, On the 8th Day God Made Baseball, you can go to Amazon, and you can find that and go out, and I'm sure it will be a very good read. Mark, we enjoyed having you. We hope to maybe have you back again soon.
I appreciate it, and it's good talking to you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Right, thank you.
Take care.
Thank you. That is former Major League pitcher Mark Littell with the Kansas City Royals and the St. Louis Cardinals. We're going to take us a quick break.
Quality Vinyl is on your side. Quality Vinyl in Athens has been in business since 1987, offering great prices and service the whole time. What has changed is the technology of their products. From vinyl siding and shutters, sunrooms and screen rooms, to doors, windows, columns, and rails. Quality Vinyl, located on the corner of Highway 72 and Reed Road in Athens, just 6 miles west of I-65. Call 232-2665 or visit them online at qualityvinyl.net. Quality Vinyl is on your side.
This is Bella LaFontaine with Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We take care of all the basics. We take care of cockroaches, ants, wasps. As far as rodents go, most places they'll trap or poison, and that's the end of it. What we do is we're actually going to find the entry points, and we're going to take care of that for you. We do a lot of work with a lot of realtors here in town to bring houses to the closing table. So one of the big things about us is that we're not a sales company. We are a service provider. So we're not looking to meet a sales quota. We're looking to get a house ready to go to closing and get our customers taken care of. This is Bella LaFontaine, Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We are located at 3413 6th Avenue in Huntsville, Alabama. Phone number is 256-701-7095.
Real estate, real easy. That's the motto at Innovative Realty Solutions, and providing the highest quality real estate services is their mission. With sound real estate advice, the latest information, and a skilled analysis of the real estate market, Innovative Realty Solutions offers a better home buying and selling experience with a fair, ethical, and, yes, innovative process. Innovative Realty Solutions. Visit them on Facebook, online at innovativerealtysolutions.com, at 100 North Clinton Street in Athens, or call 230-5950. Innovative Realty Solutions. Real estate, real easy. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right. The reviews are in for Box Drop Mattress in Ardmore, and they're awesome, just like the store. Box Drop in Ardmore has mattresses made in the USA at huge discounts. Plus, they offer flexible payment options and no credit is needed. And they'll deliver right to your door. Box Drop, located at 26561 Main Street in Ardmore. Open Tuesday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30, and Saturday from noon till 4. Appointments also available by calling 321-8888. Box Drop in Ardmore, 321-8888.
Takes the snap. He's going to roll out to the far side. He's going to throw it off his back foot deep. He's got a man. Touchdown! James Clemens!
Be listening for James Clemens High School football this coming season as the Jets take on the best in Class 7A competition. You can hear every featured game streamed live online at pasnetwork.net on your Amazon Echo device or on your Play Action Sports app and later on demand. You can also hear the replays Sunday afternoons on WKAC Radio. Join us for exciting coverage of James Clemens Jets football this coming season from Play Action Sports and 1080 WKAC. You're listening to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
Ladies and gentlemen, author of After the Cheering Stops, we have Cyndy Feasel on the Tailgate Talk hotline and my newest Facebook friend. Hey, Cyndy, welcome to the show.
Happy to hear somebody talking like me.
Absolutely. We all. I travel up north a lot, and people,
she ain't heard me start talking yet.
This is Tom McClung, Bama Zax over there. People tell me when I go up north, I love your accent. I said, I don't have an accent. Everybody talks like this where I live. So.
Exactly. I think y'all sound good.
We think you do, too.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about, if they don't know, you were married to Grant Feasel of the Seattle Seahawks and dealing with the CTE, the concussion syndrome. Give us the story that led, the best you can, the story that led to the book After the Cheering Stops.
Well, we just had some disconnects all during our 29-year marriage, and I never could really put my finger on exactly what it was, and it became a greater and greater divide towards the end of our 29 years. And once he died, his brain was sent to the Boston University and came back at stage 3 CTE. Well, he also, it says on his death certificate that he died of cirrhosis of the liver, so he was an addict. It was really difficult for me to understand what happened because he was a great athlete, but he was also an academic, All-American all 4 years of college. He was super smart. He had tons of goals and options. So it was just hard for me to understand why he started relying on alcohol. And I think that he got addicted to Percocet and painkillers while he was in the NFL. He was hiding all of it, so it was hard for me to ever put my finger on it. I started finding bottles and pills and things like that. So it was unusual behavior. He was just a Renaissance man, as I say, when we met. He had everything in the world going for him, and things just started deteriorating over the years. When I looked at the symptoms of CTE and realized that all of the symptoms of CTE went along with what had happened in our marriage and what I had journaled, it just seemed necessary for me to write a book to just see if there was anybody else out there that had had any other, had been going through anything that I'd gone through. And so, wow, little did I know that it was going to become a current event, that there was going to be so much talk about it.
Cyndy, I pulled up the website afterthecheeringstops.com where you can read more about the book and actually order it online. And I was reading what his former teammate Jeff Kemp, former NFL quarterback, and he's also got a book of Facing the Blitz. He said, Grant Feasel was my friend and my center when I was a quarterback for the Seahawks, but I had no idea about the hidden and tragic story that unfolded after he retired. I read After the Cheering Stops in one night. It's eye-opening, painful, and redemptive. I pray Cyndy's book opens people's eyes and helps us all live in transparency by asking for help no matter the pain and problems we face. So that got me thinking, Cyndy, so was there a lot of his teammates that didn't even know a lot of this was going on with him, as far as his drinking and...
Exactly. I don't think any of his teammates knew that because Grant hadn't been a drinker. He really wasn't a drinker when they were all together. And so it was so hard for anybody to understand what had happened. And even recently, I had a little altercation with a friend of mine on Facebook that had known us years ago because they were saying, that's not how Grant was. Well, that's been a long time ago.
Exactly.
Grant played in the 80s, and his career ended in 93, and those people didn't live with me for 29 years,
yes.
So a lot happened in the years after Grant retired, and it was so sad because, he ended up dying not even knowing what was wrong with him. And so I just say it was just such a disconnect and so sad. And we did make amends before he died, so I'm so thankful for that.
Yeah,
that's
great. That's awesome.
Yes. And so I say that I'm dedicating myself to the rest of my life, honoring him because he deserves better. And everybody needs to at least have an understanding of what could happen. And so that's what my goal is.
And that's one thing we all learn, I guess, as we grow older. This is Tom again, Cyndy. So many people rush to judge things that they have no clue what somebody else is going through. And, if nothing else, maybe your book can shine a light on that. And maybe somebody who's looking at somebody it's what they say, you never know what a man's going through till you walk a mile in his shoes. So, but
Exactly.
Good for you on the book.
Thank you. I just said if I could help one person, if somebody else, I felt like I was just in the dark the whole time, and I know Grant did too. It makes me so sad to think that he spent his whole life wondering what happened to himself, because he was meant for so much more, So I want people to understand that it's a serious thing, that CTE is a sport-related degenerative brain disease, and at least have a knowledge about it.
When you said his career ended in the 90s, now he died how long ago?
In 2012.
2012. Okay, I thought it was about 5 or 6 years ago. So even back then, the CTE, I mean, people were talking about concussions, but that it still wasn't.
You didn't have protocols.
You didn't have the protocols
or
anything like that, and so
We didn't have any idea. I mean, Grant would say at the very end of his life, he said, "I think I may have what Mike had." Speaking of Mike Webster, and I was so in the dark about even that. I said, "Well, what did Mike have?" I'd heard about Mike and Dave Durison at that point in Junior Seau, but I didn't really understand what the symptoms were. So, that was just the very beginning when everybody was starting to put two and two together.
I mean. Cyndy, after a ball game or anything, could you, after he started having, did he know he had a concussion in the game, or is this just, like I said, after the fact? I mean, did he come home and say, "Oh, I'm having a headache," or "This is bothering me," or did he just keep it to himself?
No, he talked about it. Even in college, he would say, "I got my bell rung," and I would, young in college and in love, I just thought, "Oh, well, that must not be that big of a deal. You're not on crutches." And so, I didn't even put two and two together. And he was a pre-med major, and we never even discussed the brain and talked about how serious getting your bell rung was. Yeah. Then when he went to the NFL, he would say, "I got my bell rung today." Or there was one specific incident that he talked about in great detail when he was at the Mile High Stadium. And, that was like the loudest place you could be, and great super fans, as they have there. And he went out for a series. And that was before, cell phones where you could dial up somebody on the sidelines and say, "Hey, what happened to Grant?" Well, when he got home back in Seattle, he said, I got a concussion. And he said everything just went black. And he was real specific about saying, it just went to tunnel vision, and that he had to be helped to the sidelines, and he didn't have any memory of what happened. So he went into a lot of detail, really, actually telling me about some of his concussions. And at the end of his life, he even said, what Mike has was a concussion problem. And he was explaining it to me. And I said, "Well, how many concussions do you think you had in your career?" And he said, "Hundreds."
Oh, my
God. Oh, that's unbelievable.
So, and I think concussion is kind of a buzzword that the industry has used to just say that, it's only concussions. But I really firmly believe that scientific evidence points out that it's the repetitive head hits. And, every hit counts. So it's not only just concussions. I think that compounds the issue. But I think really everybody needs to look at just the constant repetitive head hits.
Well, Cyndy, this is Tom again. My son played Division III college football. And his senior year, he went out. His last game was probably his best game he played, but he played through a concussion on that game. So it wasn't long ago he called me up. He said, "Dad, I'm just getting headaches like crazy." Turned out the biggest part to be was his eyeglasses. His eyes he needed glasses, but he ended up getting a ultrasound on his cranium because of his concussions in college football, and we're fortunate in his situation that they've healed up and everything's good.
Well, and this is the thing too. I just want people, like we're talking about this today and having dialogue, people listening, people need to understand when it's your child too, that it's very serious. And my boys both had concussions and, were taken out of games and this, that, and the other. And I, again, never realized the seriousness and never really thought about how serious the brain was. How could I have been so out of it? So I just keep saying, I'm begging parents to listen.
So, Cyndy, you said your boys, so did they continue playing or did they end up quitting after that?
Yes. No, they continued to play, and my boys played from 5th grade because Grant was adamant about them not starting until 5th grade, and so they played from 5th grade all the way through college. And by the time they got out of college, of course, the concussion protocol was in when my youngest one was in school, and so he was taken out of games. But like he told me, he said, "Mom, we lied to the trainer to get back in."
I'm sure they did.
I see it. I help with high school football team locally, Cyndy, and you see that all the time. Kids, they don't want to come out, and they'll say, "Oh, Coach, I'm fine." And in high school, it's a little bit different than NFL. In the NFL now, they have people sitting up in the press box. They'll call down and say, "Hey, you need to pull this guy out." You don't have that in high school. So you still see, I'm sure there's many kids that continue to keep playing every day, every down that say, that should have been sitting out of the game, but now they're maybe potential getting another concussion.
I think so too, and I really think that it needs to be part of when kids sign up at school. That there really needs to be a parent meeting where they talk about the fact that concussions are very serious, and the parents need to be educated on all of it. Because I, as a parent, just remember when the trainer would say they had a concussion, thinking again, "Oh, well, that's okay. They don't have a cast or they're not on crutches." So I really do think that parents need to educate themselves.
Well, I was going to ask you, I guess, a related question then, and not to really put you on a bad spot here, but I mean, what would you like to see happen? I mean, of course, concussions in football are, I guess football is really kind of the main one, but I mean, you could get concussions in any sport. So
basketball,
right.
You don't want to see sports just go away, but what?
It's such a conflicting thing because, I sit and watch football my entire life. My husband played, my boys played. I mean, it's so hard for me to accept that this was what really took Grant's life. And so I just say, parents, please educate yourself. I don't think it's a good idea for a 5-year-old. I think that the kids are signing up too young. I don't think parents understand all the dangers. So I just say, look at all of the dangers that could happen. I'm not a fan of saying that you should really play until you're 18. I know that sounds crazy, but, play flag football before you start playing helmet to helmet hit.
Yes.
And, we live in the South, and I know I'm talking to the choir here. I know people are not going to listen to me, but I still have to say, at least look at what could happen and have an idea of that instead of going in blindly and just thinking that this is a sport that your child's brain cannot be damaged. And I also look at the NFL, and when I see that 110 of 111 brains of former football players that have been studied, have had CTE. This is just something that has to be addressed. And at least, when Grant went to sign up to play for the NFL and was drafted, it should have said in his contract, you have a chance of getting brain damage.
Yeah.
And so I think that they got to be honest about this so that people that have options, like Grant was super smart. He could have gone to medical school. He could have gone to dental school. So as I say, he had options, and instead he played 117 games for 10 years and compounded the issue. We know now that the longer you play, the more likely your lifetime health issues will have some problems. So, now we're finding that it's not just, CTE. It's dementia, it's ALS, it's Parkinson's disease. I mean, there's a lot of neurological diseases that are now connected with the repetitive head hit.
Well, we've had gentlemen on here before that work a lot with the stem cell research on how to combat the effects of the dementia and the CTE that they're working on. So thanks to you and others that have reached out and spoken out. There's the effort is there, even though it can be improved.
Yes, and I just I feel like I'm with a handful of other people out here talking about it, and I know it's not a popular thing because we do love football. And I say to parents also, there are, we say that football can give us all of these lifetime things. That's what we want our children to grow up, to have good work ethic, and, all the things that Grant would say is good for our boys. But, there are a lot of other sports. I know, we love football. I know that America loves football, but I want America to love kids as much as they love football.
Well, Cyndy, you're not just a handful of people. We've constantly are interviewing men on here from college sports to professional sports that are dealing with this issue. So you're not in the minority. It's growing, and there are a lot more out there promoting the same cause as you. But we're getting close on time here, so tell us how we can order the book.
Well, on Amazon you can, and on my website, Cyndy Feasel at cyndyfeasel.com, afterthecheeringstops.com, Barnes & Noble. I say wherever books are sold, Target, Walmart, you can look online and order it. But Amazon, is just a go-to to come right to your door.
Right.
Yeah, I'd like to get this book.
I just appreciate you putting the plug in for that, because I feel like it's important, especially maybe for other women that may be wondering what's happening to their husband, their son, that has played football or a headbanging sport and are wondering what's happening with them and their behavior. I just hope that somehow I can make a connection with a lot of people out there.
All right, and that is CyndyFeasel.com, CyndyFeasel.com.
Or After the Cheering Stops.
After the SEL, or After the Cheering Stops.
AfterCheeringStops.com.
That's easier.
Yes, and I'm on Facebook too, and I welcome anybody. I put out articles every single day nonstop because I read nonstop, and I just am trying to educate everyone. And so I welcome anybody to look for me on Facebook as well.
I just sent you a friend request a minute ago. This is Zach, Cyndy. So if you see some country bumpkin that's got an Alabama shirt on, that's me. So.
Yeah, we don't call him Bama Zach for nothing.
That's right.
Well, I appreciate so much you having me on, and I would love to come back sometime too. So thank
Absolutely.
you. Y'all have a blessed day and a great holiday.
You too.
Cyndy.
Thank you,
Merry
Cyndy.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That was Cyndy Feasel.
Wow.
Widow of married to former Seattle Seahawk Grant Feasel. And her book, After the Cheering Stops, dedicated to trying to educate people about the concussion syndrome.
And I thought the good thing she told us, that they were divorced apparently, but she did make peace, and
yeah.
Now her life mission is to basically get this information out, and like I said, getting into art, talks with her Facebook friends, about you didn't know, you don't know how he was. Well, she did because she lived with him for 29 years. So.
Exactly.
So maybe this book will really help out.
That's good. That is very good. And I mentioned my son. I always talk about him, how he played, but he didn't start playing football until he was in the 8th grade.
Yeah, I know a lot of kids.
Yeah.
I think you've the Castilles and the Humphreys and a lot of these football families. You've heard them talk about that they wouldn't let their kids at least start to maybe 6th, 7th grade.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to toss it. Very educational, very good segment.
Awesome.
We're going to toss it off to our sponsors. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand, first to help with community events and fundraisers, first to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations, first to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events, and most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together, that's what we strive for.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon. P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well as Fayetteville and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State Hometown Team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
Shotgun formation, two backs in the backfield. He's going to hand it off to the second man through. Touchdown!
Join us this upcoming season for Limestone County football, streamed right to your computer or mobile device on the Play Action Sports app. You can also hear it on your Amazon Echo by saying, "Alexa, open Play Action Sports." Listen for the replay of select games Sunday afternoons on WKAC and download each game from the archives anytime you want. Also available on all major podcast platforms and in the podcast section of the Play Action Sports app. Limestone County football from Play Action Sports and 1080 WKAC. Welcome back to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest on the Applebee's hotline. Mr. Andre McCarter, played for the great John Wooden. Welcome to the show, sir.
How you doing, sir?
Oh, Andre,
awesome.
We're doing great. We've got a guy over here by the name of Todd Tomlin. He is chomping at the bits to talk to you. He played high school basketball, and he is just absolutely in love with the sport. So,
oh, great, that's good.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to turn you loose first and tell a little bit about yourself and give a brief history for those around who are not familiar with you.
Yes. Well, I grew up in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And I went to a high school called Overbrook High School. And a lot of great players that come from out there, from Wilt Chamberlain, Walt Hazard, Wally Jones, and the list goes on, Lewis Lloyd.
Wow.
Just so many great players came from there, a lot of NBA players.
As well as the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yes, same high school, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Yes, yep. Will Smith is another great graduate. And then I went on I was a two-time All-American. In those years, you could make the All-American team more than once. And I was picked up, I chose UCLA. When I got to UCLA, the team had won 7 national championships in a row. So for them to come 3,000 miles to pick me was, an honor. And so when I went out to UCLA, in the beginning, I had to make some adjustments. Obviously, from 17 years old, coming to California for the first time. But I played under John Wooden, and, I adjusted my game to play for him. And some things I sacrificed for the team so we can win. A lot of things I probably could have done at another college I didn't do as much of as UCLA. But my job was to run the team and, execute what John Wooden wanted on the basketball court for us to win. And then I played in the NBA a little, played for the Kansas City Kings and the Washington Bullets at the time. The Kings are now the Sacramento Kings, and the Wizards now. It used to be the Bullets. And also played international ball, played in Italy and Finland and places like that. I coached college basketball, coached at Haverford College, and also coached at UCLA. I'm an inventor. I'm a writer. I write sports articles now. I'm an entrepreneur. And
I go around and I train kids also, and I invented, my product is called Touch Glove that I invented, and it helps players improve their shooting touch by forcing them to use their fingertips.
Oh.
It's like, I don't know how people have been playing basketball without them, because it's like playing tennis without a tennis racket, because they make your hands do correctly, position themselves on the ball, and they break the habits of people that have the ball in the palm of their hands. So it's a great tool. That's something I invented, and I've written a book called The Anatomy of a Champion, which chronicles John Wooden and UCLA's 10 national championships. It's a coffee table book. And it's, I've been having time because the publishing industry is changing so much now. So I've been in negotiations with some companies because of the volume of the photographs that I have is huge.
Oh, wow.
And so the cost is somewhat prohibitive. So, I'm working to try to find the right publisher that will get the project out there. But it's completed. It's 20 years of work. It's one of the most comprehensive, execution and documentation, of the John Wooden's championship years at UCLA. That's kind of a summation of where I'm at now.
Wow. That's right. I went up on Wikipedia and searched, and so you played on the 1975 national championship team. Tell us a little bit how that was winning that national championship.
Well, we were used to winning, so it was at that time, the year before we lost, and we lost to North Carolina State. We had David Thompson. Game, obviously we feel we still should have won, but we didn't. And you have to give North Carolina State their credit. And down at the final minutes, they were to pull the game out. And so we lost 2 Hall of Famers, Bill Walton and Jamal Wilkes, off that team. And so the next year, the press, felt that probably UCLA wouldn't be the number 1 team. So we were not the ones they chose to win it all. But, we had a team of good players, Pete Turkovich, Dave Myers, Marcus Johnson, to name a few. That team fought, clawed, and we clawed our way back to win John Wooden's last and final, which we didn't know when we started the season, but at the end, it was his final year, and we sent Coach Wooden out as a champion.
That's awesome. So, hey, Andre, this is Todd. Yes, living down here in the South, and it's being obviously football country, basketball is my favorite sport, so the guys are always gracious enough to let me talk to the basketball stars. So you mentioned going to Overbrook, and I saw in 06 where you were inducted into their Hall of Fame, so I know that had to be a wonderful achievement, and congratulations on that. That's great.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
So I got tickled when you mentioned it when you went to UCLA. Coach Wooden had to adjust your game. I had read where he wasn't too thrilled with the behind-the-back passes and some of that stuff. So, how tough was that for you to kind of change your game that dramatically to, like you said, play your role and just run the team?
I played basketball to win championships. That's what I enjoyed doing. So when I came to UCLA, I came obviously because they were the best at winning championships, and I wanted to see, if I can do it there. And so when I came, that's mine. But it was tough, and so but I had to make a decision on what I wanted to do. So what I did was I redshirted myself for a year and studied John Wooden, and that's probably why we ended up having such a great relationship later in life, because I took that year off and kind of backed away. I practiced every day, so I was right there with the team. I was a part of that team that won the championship that year, but I just sat back and learned how he wanted the game to be played. And his level was a higher form of the way the game should be played for less mistakes.
Yeah.
So literally I played playing that way. In the 1975 championship run, we had 5 games, which is was the first year that ever had 5 games to win the national championship. Before it was always 4 during our time. But it was 5 this year, and I had played basically with no turnovers.
Oh, wow.
And I handled the ball 90% of the time. So what he did was just say, hey, make the play that's there.
That's impressive.
Make the right passes, play fundamentally sound, control the game. So I controlled the tempo of the game. I handled the ball all the time. I made sure all the players knew what they were supposed to be doing. And I just, made sure that we didn't make that many mistakes. And so that's what, I was able to do that so that we would win, because we had so many great scorers on the team, so many good big men. If we got them the ball, we know we could beat pretty much any team.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, the NBA thought that, you know, that you did a tremendous job at that, and you get drafted. Who were some of your teammates with the Kings?
Well, when I played for Kansas City Kings, we had Sam Lacey, Super John Williamson for a minute. Brian Taylor played for Princeton. Ron Boone, who was an NBA, really very good shooter and player on that team. And Bob Bigelow, he was the first-round pick that year when I came in. Richard Washington, my teammate at UCLA, played on that team. And then when I played with the Bullets, we had Kevin Greavy. I got a chance to play with Elvin Hayes.
Oh, wow.
And Wes Unsalt.
I was just going to say.
So that was really great, catching them in their last run. So it was really good. I had a good group of guys.
We'll be back with more of our Tailgate Talk conversation after this. If you're looking for an alternative to the insane prices of buying furniture, appliances, and electronics outright, why not consider rent-to-own at Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens? High quality at low prices. Top brands like GE, Maytag, Samsung, and Ashley. No credit approval and flexible payment options. See what you can take home today. Visit Buddy's Home Furnishings in Athens at 600 South Jefferson Street in the Athens Shopping Center. Go online to buddyrents.com or call 206-9505. Buddy's Home Furnishings. Quality Vinyl is on your side. Quality Vinyl in Athens has been in business since 1987, offering great prices and service the whole time. What has changed is the technology of their products. From vinyl siding and shutters, sunrooms and screen rooms, to doors, windows, columns, and rails. Quality Vinyl, located on the corner of Highway 72 and Reed Road in Athens, just 6 miles west of I-65. Call 232-2665 or visit them online at qualityvinyl.net. Quality Vinyl is on your side.
Hey guys, this is Abby with CEI Bookstore. I wanted to personally invite you to our annual Truth Lectureship happening July 11th through 14th at Athens Bible School. This year, the theme is I Believe in Jesus, an apologetic defense of faith in Jesus Christ. Our evening singing and keynote lectures start at 7 p.m. and with day lectures from 8 to 12. Want more information about Truth Lectures? Check out truthlectures.com or stop by CEI Bookstore. We look forward to seeing you the second week of July.
The Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship has been set up to honor the legacy of Bama Zach Green, a huge fan of the Crimson Tide, along with Limestone County sports. The scholarship will go each year to a male and female athlete from Limestone County. Checks should be made out to Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship and can be sent in care of Garth Garris, 13833 Pinnacle Drive, Athens, Alabama, 35613. Donations can also be made in person at First State Bank of the South at 1319 Highway 72 East in Athens. Thank you for showing your support for local athletes by giving to the Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship. You're listening to the best of Tailgate Talk on 1080 WKAC.
Well, now, you played for John Wooden, and, you know, to UCLA fans, he's to UCLA fans what Bear Bryant is to us Alabama fans, and
of course
what Nick Saban is becoming. But the off-the-court stuff that these coaches did, I mean, you know, I hear about, you know, Coach Wooden setting everybody down at the first of the season and, you know, going through how to lace up your tennis shoes. How does that stuff, you know, help?
Well, with Coach Wooden's excellence was attention to details. And so he was always thinking ahead of the game. That's why he was an innovator in a very simple way. And people say they want to talk about him telling us to tie his shoes, but the reason why is because he wanted to make sure we didn't get blisters. And if you check UCLA's history, a lot of times we won because we didn't have a lot of injuries, because he wasn't a big guy on lifting weights. And we also didn't have, you know, blisters and things, guys missing 2 or 3 weeks because of blisters on their feet when you first start training at the beginning of the year. Mm-hmm. So he knew if you had your socks, it wasn't just the shoestrings you had to pull. He had your socks, showed you how to pull your socks up exactly the right way so there would be no give in there, and then to tie the shoes very tight but secure so that you wouldn't be rubbing as you're stopping and going and doing things that you hadn't been doing in the summertime. So your feet had to get used to the new, you know, thin courses of exercise that he was putting you through. Mm-hmm. You had to have yourself ready for it. So he was prepared. He knew from all his past experiences before he even got to UCLA when he coached, things that he learned. And then his practices is nothing else like it I've ever experienced as far as something being run properly, and the execution of it is nothing greater than his practices, and that's where he developed. It wasn't the games, it was the practices that made all his teams great.
And I hear he and oh man, his name just went. Bill Walton kind of had had some friction going on there too.
Yeah, well, Bill had a little moments when he thought he ran the team, and he quickly found out who the chief was. So, they have a story. One time, Bill came to practice, and Coach Wooden didn't like you to have mustache or facial hair, all for good reasons. He was always thinking about catching colds or things that could throw the team concept off. So you couldn't have facial hair, and you had to have your hair cut. He allowed the African American players, you could wear your afro, but you had to, trim it. And then, the white players, it was no problem. They could have their hair, but you had to cut it, it looks nice, neat, And so Bill wasn't for it. He was all coming with the hippie move, had his hair all hanging down, coming to practice. We looking at him on his bike, because he ride his bike, and he come to practice. We was looking, boy. Coach Wooden said, so they called him over. So the story goes, Coach Wooden said, well, Bill, seems like we're going to be missing you around here. So Bill said, what you mean? He said, Coach Wooden said, hey, you have a right to wear your hair to wherever, kind of way you want it. I said, but, you just won't be wearing it around here. So we'll see you, Bill. Next thing you know, Bill got on his bike, zoom, he back. Oh, Bill, you got your haircut. What a quick haircut. Okay. So I think he knew Coach Wooden wasn't putting up with it.
Yeah. Hey, Andre, so, I can't imagine what it was like to play for Coach Wooden, let alone just be around him and then be part of his life. I know you're on his last championship team, which has got to be an honor, but one of the things I read was that the campaign that you started and continued for a long time to get Coach Wooden the Freedom
the Presidential Medal of Freedom Award.
And dude, that's just that's awesome on your part and the others that you pulled around you to do that. And finally, I saw where President Bush was able to do that. And I remember that. I remember when Coach Wooden got that award. I didn't obviously know at the time that you'd played such an important part in it. But hats off to you to think that much about him, and to help him get that award, because it's very special and very deserving.
Yeah, well, he definitely did, and it's a whole story about it. But I started in 2000, and one of the things, just a little bit about it, is that one of the things was I knew I could go get probably 15,000 signatures if I wanted to. Oh, yeah. But Coach Wooden didn't like all that stuff. He didn't like all that hub about himself. Okay, he just felt whatever you do, people will recognize it, and that's all. That's on them whether they recognize what he's done or not. So I knew how he is, so I didn't tell him. What I did was I said, I'm not going to have people sign up for it because they're going to run their mouth. Somebody's going to go to Coach Wood, Coach, Andre's working on getting you the Presidential Medal of Freedom Award. Somebody was going to do that. So the players, we all know how he is. So I only used his players. So I went back and found his players from the 40s when he first got there, 48, and all the way through. So 40s, I got some from the 50s, some from the 60s, and some from the 70s to write letters, which wasn't easy to get people to sit down, write a letter for the President of the United States, you know what I mean? Yeah. So anyway, but we were able to get it, and we got 31 letters, and I sent those in, and then it's a whole 3-year story, which actually is I'm going to be in my book, that talks about the whole process of what happened, and it's a real unbelievable story how it ended up happening in the end.
Well, I'm
very
just
intriguing,
glad it did,
to say the least.
And I'm sure it was hard work. So thank you for doing that.
I appreciate it.
And we want to congratulate you on your book and wish you the best. We hope you find that right publisher. I'm songwriting not the industry, but I'm a songwriter, and I understand you've got to have the right publisher and the right deal going. So best of luck on that, Andre.
Thank you.
Well, now whenever you get everything all straightened out, give me a call or a Facebook message or whatever, and let me know, and we'll have you back on, or we can
promote your book.
Yeah, promote your book for you.
Oh, man, I appreciate that. Thanks a lot. And thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Andre.
Thanks, Andre.
All right. Bye.
Bye. That's pretty interesting.
Wow.
Very
great, man.
Andre,
that's a legend right there.
McCarter. I know, right?
To, play for somebody, like Coach Wooden and, and like I said, I didn't know nothing about the presidential Medal of Freedom.
That's our man Todd's area of expertise.
And Andre was the one that got that started, so that's pretty awesome that he did that.
You know what's amazing is how, why did anybody have to promote any sort of campaign in order for that man to receive that
award?
Medal?
First thing that popped to my mind when he talked about Walton riding up on that bike. First thing I thought was Pistol Pete never could have played for Coach Wooden.
Oh, Lord, no. No.
Hey, Bill Walton, I'm going to tell you, man, and he is still out there.
Oh, listen.
It was kind of an older interview, but it was on the other morning. I was getting in the car, and they were playing, and he was talking to Jeremy Shout, and him and Dick Shout, Bill Walton and Dick Shout were very close. He wrote a book. Dick Shout wrote a book on Bill. Okay. And he started going back, and he was just sitting there, smoking him one. What I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He just had his shirt, his rainbow shirt on, and just laid back with his sandals on.
Every year,
he's a trip.
Yeah, ESPN has kind of a preseason college basketball tournament. It's in Maui or wherever, and Bill Walton is always doing the color on those, and they'll let him do these like outtakes or whatever. He'll be on the island on his bicycle.
Yeah.
And my man has just got through having recreational fun at his best. You can tell. And it's just like, he's a 70-whatever-year-old hippie.
Yeah.
It's just, but, and I was, when I'm seeing him do that, I'm always wondering about his son Luke, who's now the coach of the Lakers.
Yeah.
When he sees that stuff, he's like, oh, come on.
Oh, he knows it.
He knows it. He lived it.
Yeah, he grew up with it, so he knows it.
He lived it, yeah. Still does.
You've been listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC, the Big 1080.
You've been listening to the best of Tailgate Talk. You can hear the archive of this and other shows online at tailgatetalk.net. Join us next Saturday at 10 a.m. Applebee's Tailgate Talk is a production of Play Action Sports on 1080 WKAC.